This was a widely requested manga that I've briefly talked about in other videos, and to be fair, I think the last time I talked about it was maybe over a year ago. But as my platform grows, I thought it'd be best to start talking about manga like this in a much broader sense. What's going on, everybody? DomoSenpai here, and the topic for today is whether or not Gokurakugai is worth the read. If y'all are new to the channel and have yet to subscribe, make sure y'all hit that big ass red subscribe button directly underneath the video. 10,000 subscribers is well on the horizon, and with that being my biggest goal for the year, I will continue to work my ass off and get us to the promised land. And then from there, we can chase the big ass goal, right? Like the big dog goal of 100,000 subscribers and getting that silver plaque. These are goals I've been chasing for a long time, and making sure I get them is something I will continue to do with an unrelenting fervor. I hope I use that correctly, because I've heard it before and I was like, you know what? I might want to use that phrase, right? Like the unrelenting fervor thing. It may not be right, but I think it's right. But anyway, enough yapping for the intro, because you know I usually go on longer. Let's get into the video. First off, let's talk about the world of Gokurakugai, because y'all know when it comes to manga, if the world is interesting, I'm interested. Aside from One Piece, because that shit is way too long. Set in a bustling city filled with a ton of secrets, this manga captures the vibe of an urban fantasy. It's a place where the natural and supernatural collide. I was gonna use words like mundane, but that doesn't really fit how I like to describe manga. I like to use basic words so people get a better understanding of what it is, because if you try to use too big of words, people are gonna be like, bro, what the hell are you talking about? Just use normal stuff. We can't understand it. So me being me, I like to be personable and tailor my work to my audience. So anyway, it's a place where the natural and supernatural collide, creating one of the more unique worlds for a story. Dark alleyways, hidden magic, and a constant sense of danger lurking just around the corner. It's a blend of noir and fantasy that feels fresh and immediately draws you in. And no, noir is not black and white. I've seen somebody say that before, like, come on bro, you're using noir wrong. Make sure you Google what noir means and then come back to me on this video and say I'm sorry. I'm a sucker for world detail. So as I was reading this manga, I was stun-locked page after page after page at how alive the panels felt. From the people in the streets to the shadowy corners. It's the kind of setting that feels like a character in its own right. And y'all know me, because Gachiakata's world drew me in. So it was only right that I ended up being drawn into this manga. Next, you know we gotta talk about the characters, because in my humblest of opinions, this is where Gokurakugai shines. Our two main characters, Tao and Alma, are the perfect duo. On one hand, we have Tao, who's a street-smart exorcist with a sharp tongue and a no-nonsense attitude. And on the other hand, we have Alma, the kind-hearted and powerful kid with a mysterious past. He looks so sick, by the way, when he goes demon form. Looks so sick. Their contrasting personalities make for a compelling dynamic filled with humor, camaraderie, and the occasional heart-to-heart moment. As a JRPG fan, and more importantly, a Final Fantasy VII fan, good dialogue is one of the ways to my heart, and I really do love the back and forth between these two. And side note, Tao is one of the most attractive female characters I've seen in a manga, and it's not just how she looks, it's just her in general. So if you look like Tao, hit me up. Anyway, Tao's snarky comments and almost pure-hearted responses always create such a perfect balance of lightheartedness and depth. And y'all want to know what the craziest part is? These characters possess such depth, and there's only 23 chapters out as of late. And not to mention, you throw a few interesting side characters in like Yoki, Dara, and Nei, you have yourself the cast of Scooby-Doo. Wait, that's not it. Now that we've talked about the characters, let's dive into the plot. At its core, Gokurakugai is about solving supernatural cases in a city where the line between humans and spirits is often blurred. Each chapter brings a new mystery, but there's also an overarching narrative that gradually unfolds. The pacing is spot on, keeping you hooked without ever feeling rushed. And again, just to reiterate, there's only 23 chapters, but to counter that, the chapters are massive, which is also one of my favorite parts about the manga as well, but I'll save that for later. One thing I love about this manga is how it explores deeper themes. This manga doesn't shy away from tackling tough issues, and it does it with a level of nuance that adds several layers to the story. Using the word several is always hilarious to me because when we say several, it usually just means multiple, but for some reason it sounds more sophisticated. Moving on, can we please take a moment to appreciate the art? With Berserk being my favorite manga of all time and Gachiakata being my current favorite, y'all know art means a lot to me, and Gokurakugai is right up there in terms of art. Seriously, the artwork in this manga is phenomenal. Yuto Sano is insanely talented. The character designs are so distinct and memorable, and the action sequences in this manga are not only dynamic, but they're so easy to follow. The way Sano uses shading and panel comp really enhances the mood of every scene. From the high-octane battles to the quiet introspective moments this manga has, the art style adapts perfectly to the tone of the story. And it's insane that Yuto Sano is doing it all. It's one of those manga where you can't help but pause and admire the panels. Seriously, Sano, you are amazing. I'm always one to give someone their flowers when they deserve it, and Sano is one deserving of them. So why should Gokurakugai be on your reading list? For starters, it's a manga that has it all. Engaging characters, a rich and beautiful setting, and a plot that keeps you invested. But even more than that, it's a story that feels different in comparison to what is on the current market in regards to manga. It's not many that are like that. It takes all the tropes you thought you were familiar with and gives them a unique spin, making it one of the standouts in the genre. Whether you're here for the action, the humor, or the emotional depth, Gokurakugai delivers on all levels. It's a series that stays with you long after you finish catching up and reading it. And by the way, y'all know how I said them chapters are massive? The chapters for this are huge. And it's because it's like monthly, but sometimes Sano drops like 2 a month. I don't know. It might be bi-weekly, right? It fluctuates from like bi-weekly to monthly, back down to bi-weekly. So it's one hell of a manga. So is Gokurakugai worth the read? 1000% yes. If you haven't read it yet, you can find it on Viz, or hell, even grab the physical volumes if you can. Do everything you can to support Sano and Gokurakugai because it is something we should covet if we are fans of the genre. Anyway, that about does it for this video. If there was anything that I missed in regards to this manga that you think I should have talked about, make sure y'all let me know in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. Videos drop every day on this channel. And in my pursuit to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I would hope that those of you who are new would stick around and share this video with people who not only love Gokurakugai, but just overall love manga. Thank you guys for supporting me the way you have. This shit means so much to creators like myself because y'all give me the ability to express myself in such a fashion that not many people get the chance to. So with that, I will make sure that I do my best and continue to not disappoint. Y'all have a good morning, afternoon, or night wherever you are. I'm DomoSenpai, and I will catch you guys in the next video.